Hi, this is John Ochins and welcome to My Life. We're with two very special people today on My Life. One of them is this youngster on my lap here, Zachary Rapson. And another one is his grandfather, who is to my left, Paul Wishon. Paul is actually celebrating his 96th birthday today, and we're honored to have him on our program. Now, Zachary, I'm going to send you off to join your mother, but I'm glad that you were able to join us because I want to talk to your grandpa. He's got a few things to say to us, I think.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you later. Paul, it's an honor to have you on our program.
Thank you, John.
It's funny, we come upon our guests in various ways, and in this particular case, the way we found you was through your granddaughter, who happens to be our station manager's barber. So
right?
she said, I have a very interesting grandfather I'd like you to meet. So I'm really glad that you were able to stop by.
Thank you.
96 years old. You look pretty good for being 96 years old.
Well, I'm not.
You're not. So you don't live in the Oxford area. You live in Berkeley.
Berkeley, Michigan.
And you've lived there for a very long time.
1950.
Okay, so
I wasn't there when I joined the Navy, though.
And indeed, that's an important facet of your life. You were a veteran.
Absolutely.
And you were active during World War II.
Very active.
Okay, very good. So you still live in the same house in Berkeley as you did when you moved there in the first place?
Same house.
So you must know your neighbors by now then. If you lived there since 1950.
Most of them died off.
Isn't that awful?
They didn't stay around as long as I have for some reason.
Are you in some veterans organizations down there?
Do it again?
Are you in some veterans organizations down there in Berkeley?
I'm in the Chapter 19 of the Disabled American Veterans.
Oh, good for you. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. And, and also the VFW. I'm a life member of both of them.
I kind of figured you would be. Are you involved in any of the fish dinners down there or anything?
First what?
Are you involved in any of the fish dinners down in Berkeley or anything?
Very few. I don't like to eat fish. I told you.
We won't tell our station manager that because he's an organizer of the local veterans fish dinners on Friday evenings. But listen, let's talk about your life. Okay. 96 years.
Yeah.
Where were you born?
And raised in Missouri till I was 15 years old.
What were your parents doing in Missouri?
My parents were divorced in Missouri in 1935. And my mother couldn't raise me and my sister anymore, so my sister came up to Michigan a year or two earlier, and she was older, and her husband got a job at Burroughs Adding Machine at that time. And that's where I joined the Navy from.
Now, divorce was not a common thing back in those days, right? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Now it seems like everybody's getting a divorce, but back then...
That's all there is to it.
Yeah, exactly. How old were you when your parents split up?
My God, I was 7 years old, I believe. 7.
That must have been tough.
We didn't have a nickel and a dime to buy anything.
What was going through your mind at that time?
I was young and I just happy. I was happy all my life.
Okay.
And we used to pick up coal, and our railroad was right back of our house. Every time the train had come through, it would shake the house. And an engineer lived in Irondale, drove to St. Louis to start working on the trains, and he would throw coal off around our house. We'd go out and pick it up.
And you'd use it?
Oh, absolutely.
And you weren't the only ones doing that, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I've heard some stories.
We'd pick up a lot of vegetables alongside the railroads, and I done that, and we would go out to people's fields, my mom and I and my sister, and pick up berries or anything, and my mother would can them. We had a little cellar, and we put the things in there.
They didn't waste anything back then, did they?
No.
Yeah. Did you know your grandparents?
Oh, I knew them my one grandfather was in the Civil War. He was in 19 engagements and never got hurt. His brother got killed. That would be my uncle.
How far would you have to go back in your family to find the first people who arrived in this country, in your ancestors?
No, it would be my grandson or grandparents.
Your grandparents came from the old country?
Yes.
Okay, what country did they come
Germany.
From Germany.
Yeah.
Okay. So your parents were the first ones in your family born here
in
this
the
country.
United States, yes.
What was going through your mind when your mother said, "We're moving to Michigan"?
My mother didn't say that. She said, I'm going with my sister and brother-in-law. They're the ones that took me up here. They didn't have any children. Took me up here and kept me, and first thing I did, it wasn't going to school because I only went through 9th grade. And my mother couldn't stand to live like that again and take a chance on starving to death.
So your mother came later? Did you
No.
come up here with your sister?
Yes, and my brother-in-law.
And when did your mother join you?
She never lived with us to live with us all the time. She just lived with us maybe for about 2 or 3 weeks and then go back to Missouri.
I see.
She was a nurse in Ironton hospital, and that's where she made her money to live on. She didn't have any money to live on in Irondale.
Was your sister a lot older than you? Was your sister a lot older than you?
Yes, yes, she was.
Okay, so she was more like a mother to you than a sister,
Wait,
right?
at that time, yeah, she was.
Okay.
Her and her brother-in-law was like a father.
Yeah. So, okay, so what grade were you in when you moved to Michigan? Were you in like the
Ninth
first or
grade.
second? Oh, in the ninth grade.
Yes,
So you were a teenager or close to it.
close to it, yeah.
Okay.
I lived close to Northwestern too. And I tried to get over and play football, but I never made it.
Well, if you were in the ninth grade when you moved to Michigan,
Uh-huh.
you would have had a lot of friends that you were leaving back in Missouri.
Well, not many,
Really?
no.
Did you come from a small town?
300,
That's a small town.
that's a small town.
Were you like in a one-room schoolhouse, or what was that like?
No, it was,
In Missouri?
yeah, it was a pretty big schoolhouse. It had all grades in it.
Okay.
We, of course, had to walk to school. Wasn't very far, but I had a job of delivering papers, and I made 50 cents a month, believe it or not, for delivering 6 papers a day.
Did that seem like big money back then?
Well, that was big money. 50 cents? My mother made 50 cents a month when she was in the Eastern Star, and she was a treasurer.
Really?
50 cents.
Yeah. We're going to take a little break, but we'll be right back, and I want to find out more about some of your first experiences in Michigan. We'll be
okay.
right back.
All right.
Hi everyone, don't forget you can purchase DVDs of your favorite shows from OCTV, whether it's Minutes by Minute, Our Community Access, or Connie's Kitchen. Just call the station. Our number is 248-628-9658. And enjoy watching all of our shows on OCTV.
Back with Paul Wishon. Okay, Paul, let's talk about your life once you arrived here in Michigan. You were in the ninth grade, so you were starting high school. Did you mix in with everybody?
No, sir. I hate to tell you this, but I failed the 9th grade in Irondale. I had to go over it again.
Well, okay, we didn't have to say that. But they didn't have to know that. But that's okay. But anyway, what high school did you go to here in Michigan?
Irondale High School.
Here in Michigan.
Oh, here. I did not go anymore.
Oh, you didn't?
Never went to school again.
Okay, you never did.
Never. I worked in the A&P store and the Smith store and
And this is while you were
In
living with your
Michigan.
sister. Yes, you were living with your sister. Whereabouts in Michigan did you live?
Northwestern and Grand River and Grand Boulevard.
So you were almost downtown then, weren't you?
Oh, not exactly.
No?
Quite a ways from downtown.
Okay.
right near the northeastern high school. One north something.
Okay, but in any event, as soon as you got to Michigan, you went to work.
Yes, I did.
Okay. When did you meet your wife?
We always I got in the A&P store on Livernois and Tyler.
Right.
And at that time, we was all the people that worked in that store worked together, and we'd go out together, go swimming together, go almost anything we'd all do together. There was I think there was 6 or 8 of us. Go swimming out to I forget the name of the place we went, but it was out Northwestern at the end of Northwestern Highway and some lake out there. And
Okay.
there was a lot of them out there.
Oh, yeah. Did you go out to Walled Lake or any place like that?
We didn't go swimming at Wall Lake.
Uh-huh.
No, Northwestern is. It'll come to me tomorrow probably.
No, I know the feeling. But anyway, you met your wife while you were doing some of these activities?
Well, no. At that time, my buddy was going with her. And we would all go together. And anyway, I kind of took a liking to her and she to me. And when I was in the service, somehow she got turned over to me. And the one that she was going with was Lloyd Nagel. Some of you people might remember him. He came from up north, him and Mike Lowry. Lloyd got a job down at downtown at Hudson's, delivering goods. And I don't know, I think I got a job at Burroughs through my brother-in-law, of course.
What did you do at Burroughs?
I did several different things. First, I started in being a stockman. They'd bring a little paper with the number of the stock and how many they wanted, and I'd go get it and give it to them with that paper they got. And the next thing I got was somehow I got to be a job setter for a bunch of women. And that was paid a little better.
Now, at what point did you get involved with the military?
When my buddy that went with my wife the first time, and I got her from him, when he come over at my house and he hollered up, "Let's go join the Navy," he said, "I want to make sure that I get 3 meals a day." I said, "Okay." So we went downtown to join the Navy. That was a week after Pearl Harbor. So anyway, a buddy of mine came down. He was going to join with us, but he didn't make it. He left and he never came back, but he did join the Navy after. And he got aboard the tin can, which he was served on all the time. But I got sent out to California, me and Lloyd, with a whole group of whole trainload of guys going out there.
What year would this have been? Do you remember?
1942.
42. So the war was going.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we was in war. Huh?
So you headed for California for your basic training, is that right?
No, I had that already
Oh, you did?
at Great Lakes.
Ah,
At Great Lakes in Illinois.
right.
So at that place that the whole thing goes out in the water. I forget what they call it, but it's still there.
What job did you have in the Navy? What did you train for?
I was on the first thing was passing these clips, was about like that. The first thing I did, that was the Coral Sea battle, and that was the first battle, by the way, after Pearl Harbor, the first sea battle.
Uh-huh.
And I skinned my thumb all the way up, and I had to go down, and I missed part of the actual war. When I went down there, I skinned my thumb passing the ammunition through this slot that it was in the door.
What went through your mind in your first involvement in warfare?
The first war,
Yeah, in Indian.
that was
when
the
you were,
Coral Sea War.
well,
The first one,
that you were involved in. Yes.
we
what
lost that battle.
What went through your mind?
Beat the hell out of me. I can't remember what went through my mind. That was in 42.
Were you afraid? Were you anxious?
No, I never was afraid until after the battle. Then you'd get a little shaky.
Because you had time to think about it.
Yeah, I guess so.
So how long did it take for them to fix your fingers so that you could get back to action?
Oh, not long.
What was the next battle you were involved with? Can you remember?
Midway.
Midway. You were involved.
Yep.
Tell me
absolutely.
some of. We're going to take a little break first because I know you're going to have a few things to tell me about that. So let's take a little break and we'll be right back.
Okay.
You're watching OCTV, Oxford Community Television, serving Oxford, Addison Township, and the village of Leonard.
We're with Paul Wishon, and he was about to relay his experiences in the Battle of Midway, correct?
Right.
Tell us what was going through your mind during that battle.
Truthfully, there ain't nothing going through your mind that I know of that I can remember, because I wasn't thinking about nothing but getting away from them planes that was coming in, dive bombers
And just trying to
different kinds
avoid
of planes.
death. Yeah. I said you were trying to avoid death is what you were trying to do.
I don't think so. I don't think I was. I was on the trying to think what the heck it was at that time. There's two on a mount on the. Oh boy.
Your job had something to do with
the firing of the aircraft.
anti-aircraft. So you were shooting at airplanes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Were you able to
We
hit a few?
one that was coming in on the starboard side, and it was coming down low. It was left off torpedoes,
Right.
and we never got hit until the last battle we was in. And we got hit by a mini shrapnel of guns that dented our ship, put dents in our ship. Didn't bust it though, some of them.
How many engagements were you in?
7.
7. Can you tell us the names of some of the others?
I can tell you all, all but 1 and 2 and 3. We was in the Coral Sea, which is the first one after Pearl Harbor. We lost it. Midway was the next one. We won that one. We got more of their aircraft than they got of ours, and ships. And then Guadalcanal, we bombed that one. And Savo Island, that was the last one we was in. We got torpedoed in that one. But the other ones were against submarines.
Right.
Mostly, there's one of them that we was in that I was scared to death on. And I think everybody aboard ship was. We took off in the morning, no, at night rather. And we went as fast as we could. We didn't know where you didn't know nothing. You know, they didn't tell you nothing. And we was on these guns, and we went as fast as we could. And in the morning, when the daylight came, we was right close to Tulagi.
That's okay. Keep going.
That ain't it. Anyway, and by ourselves, we didn't have no protection, nobody with us, and we went as fast as we could. And when the daylight came, we we seen two ships that were carrying soldiers, one tin can that was firing at us. They couldn't fire as long as we could. We had 8-inch guns. They had, I think, 5 inches, the
Right.
biggest they can carry. Anyway, they were shooting at us, and their shells would bust right out in front of us, scare the daylights out of you. But it didn't scare us too much because we had guns to shoot further, and we was staying out a little farther than they could shoot.
Right.
And their shells was busting in front of us. But we hit the tin can, and they hit the two, I can't think,
That's okay.
carriers, not carriers, the ones that was carrying the soldiers. I can't
The
think.
troop ship. That's okay.
No, it ain't. I forget that. Anyway, when we left there, we had to, we left in one heck of a hurry, and we were by ourselves, and we were trying to get back to Honolulu. But we heard there was 28 dive bombers looking for us, Japanese dive bombers that was looking for us. And if they had found us, you know what they would have done, 28 of them?
My goodness.
Anyway, they didn't find us, and that was a big relief because I was worrying, and of course everybody was a little bit worried. They had to be at that time.
As you think back on your years during the war, what's the biggest memory that you have?
Being torpedoed.
Tell me about that.
That was in our last one, of course. Anyway, it was a night battle, and the night was lit up just like the firecrackers nights when you go see them. It was lit up. I seen the other Japanese ships. We would go in one way, they were going another. And the San Francisco, if anybody remembers the San Francisco light cruiser, their captain, their commander, all the way down to, I forget just what it was, but they all got killed aboard that ship. And they told us all we could do after we was torpedoed is go around in circles. Our rudder was messed up. And all we could do is go around in circles.
Oh boy.
Come in the morning, we was dead ducks. Like a duck on the water, you know.
And there was nothing you could do.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But there was a Japanese ship that was beached not very far from us, from where we were, going around in circles. And evidently that ship had to be out of shells, because they were noted at that time to have a lot of submarines.
Right.
It's not submarines. Torpedoes.
Torpedoes.
Yeah. And anyway, we got hit by one, and all we could go around in circles. And in the morning, and we seen that ship, and our ship warned that one to abandon ship. And they tried to get up steam. So we started firing at her at the tin can that was beached.
Mm-hmm.
The first one we went over. The second time we went around, we was this side of her. We had her straddled. And the next time we went around, we hit it. And the next time we went around, always seen a shrapnel all over the beach and all over the water.
Did you lose any people?
28
28 people.
at one time.
Out of
Yeah.
how
One
how
of them was
many?
my friend. Went on Liberty together.
Yeah.
Anyway, we went back to Tulagi, and they towed us over there, 3 tugboats. And when they did, we was right on this side of a mountain where the Japanese planes come over, and they could have bombed the daylights out of us if they had seen us, of course, but we were lucky again. We camouflaged our ship, and we weren't hit anymore. We was towed to Sydney, Australia from Tulagi. And when we got there, we got in dry dock. And 3 tugboats was taking us over there, and some of our, what do you call them boats that
Tugboats?
they fired torpedo. Our own ship, own boats fired at us. Their torpedoes, torpedo boats. That's what they call them.
Really?
They fired at us. I don't know how many, and they missed us because there was 3 tugboats that was pushing us over there. So all we could do is, is just try to stay straight. And we did, and we got towed over there, pushed over there really. And the wake that them tugboats was putting up confused them torpedo boats, and that's why they missed us.
No kidding.
Too big a wake. Yeah. That was another lucky break for us.
Okay, I want to move ahead a little bit briefly here.
Okay.
Now, so you got out of the service. Was the war still on when you got out?
Yes, sir.
And you came back to Michigan.
Yes.
And
That's where I joined.
is that where you and your wife got married after the war? After you got out?
After the war, yeah.
After you got out.
No, it wasn't after the war. No, we got married in March of 43.
So you were married for quite a while you were actually in the service then, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you came back to Michigan after you got out, and you and your wife had how many children?
2.
2 kids.
And they're both dead.
Oh boy, how many
Yeah.
grandkids do you have?
5.
How many
And,
grandkids do you have?
Grandkids, I got 5. And they got, like Zachary is my great-grandson.
Right.
Yeah.
What did you end up doing for a living after you came back?
I worked at Burroughs Adding Machine.
Did you retire from there?
Yes, I did.
You did.
Yeah.
So that was your career?
Out
then?
of Plymouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
And I get a pension from them every month.
Good. That's nice. Excuse
Which
me.
I'm lucky.
If you had anything to do over again, would you do it any differently?
Absolutely. I'd do it the same as I did.
Same as you did.
I think I would.
Well, we're honored to have you on our
I
program.
tell you, I had the greatest time of my life when I was in Sydney, Australia.
Did you?
We had port and starboard liberty. And that was the best liberty town I was ever in my life.
Wow. Sydney,
Sydney,
Australia.
Yeah.
Did you ever get back there?
Never.
Never
No.
did. Okay.
No. And I got a son that joined the Army and got killed in 1970.
Vietnam? Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry to hear that. Well, we thank you for your service. And
Thank
we
you.
thank you for being on our show. It's been a pleasure. Paul Wishon. Join us next time.
Thank you, John.